Scouts to reach the rank of Eagle. Uncountable number of hours, and those are volunteer hours, I might add, in guiding, teaching, celebrating, and even comforting many of our scouts and their families in our troop. I've been in my position as COR for about a year now, and so I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes and what goes on in a troop, this wonderful troop. And I joke, but I really kind of believe this. There must be at least 8 cloned versions of Josh Kennedy for him to be at an Eagle Project in Hampton Cove. And then an hour or so later, he's in Florence at an order of the OA induction. And then he's at another Eagle Project. Then he's at a hike over here, and he's over here. You get the point. He's everywhere. He comes to anything and everything that involves our scouts. And that is just amazing. His passion for this troop and these scouts sitting in front of us and those that have gone before is just amazing. So Josh, will you come up here, please? We want you to know that we appreciate you and thank you for all.
You got a Walmart bag.
No, it's not a Walmart bag. We appreciate all that you've done. Truly. I do want to say Carter Wells is out of town. He's in DC on work. So I'd like for Brian Pollock to come up, and he has another little presentation.
Okay, can I sit down?
No.
No.
This is for Ian Humphrey. Yes, Ian, he's in his dress tonight. Faye and Carter have really carried the water here as parents. Many of you may not know me, but I've really got to hand it to both of them, and of course Pastor Brown for making this happen. It's my pleasure to speak in honor of a great friend tonight. 100 Eagles also means that Josh Herring's going to harass me tonight and think I'm uptight up here, but he's not going to do that. It means 100 Scoutmaster conferences, usually at campouts, right, Mr. Kennedy? 100 Eagle rank Scoutmaster conferences, a minimum of 2,100 blue card signatures, 100 boys coached through the infamous personal fitness, what is it, guys?
Merit badge.
Yeah, but what's the one thing you got to do?
Required.
COH. 100 frantic phone calls from parents to ensure if their son is going to make it to Eagle. 100 nights away from his family so he could celebrate the success of a new Eagle at a board of review. So I was talking to a few friends over some text this afternoon and asked for some of their feedback. One of them, by Mr. Brian Miller, said it should be called the GOAT's Greatest of All Time Scoutmaster. They have to pluralize GOAT because no one believes there's only one man behind his accomplishments in scouting and commitment to leadership. Thought that was a good one. Mr. Skul-ski. Josh Kennedy has been synonymous with the word Scoutmaster. His image is forever burned into the minds, whether you like that image or not. He even put in here a pause for laughter. Over what is now over 100 Eagle Scouts and every mom and dad of each one of those Eagle Scouts, the cumulative amount of time and effort he has spent on Troop 343 proactively, actively, and even post-actively guiding our boys into the leaders is mind-boggling. The appreciation of the mentorship can't really be put into words. However, you can at times see If you catch a glimpse of Josh wearing his scout shirt, which is just about out of real estate due to all of the mental trends that have now transformed the act of wearing that shirt into a CrossFit exercise.
I've seen him there.
We cannot thank him, and of course his wife Kirsten, enough for what he has done for this community of young men of tomorrow and their families. That was by Les. The dear Dr. Professor Herring had a beautiful story tonight, and I would be up here for another 5 minutes if I had taken that. But a short version that really captures the essence of how Josh has changed many lives for the better came from Josh Herring. Possibly it is righteous jealousy because my son has had opportunities I wanted as a kid. But truthfully, it is the thankfulness for the adults and scouts that Josh Kennedy has encouraged through leadership, intentionality, and experience that gave my son and 99 others those opportunities to excel. My own story with Mr. Kennedy, the first time I met Josh and heard about him from Scout Ludwig, I thought, this Scoutmaster doesn't sound like my Scoutmaster from 1983. The incredible dedication to our country, the U.S. Army, his profession, his family, and scouting. Boy, was I right. Pushing these young men to do things that they never thought they could. Leadership, high adventure all over the United States, all the way down to a Sunday Scouts Own service where now a college student, David Coomer, was so stressed out that he had to do the Scouts Own service. He literally twisted the arms of a gray sweatshirt to where they were so long they drug the ground. It was an amazing amount of stress. What did Scoutmaster Kennedy say when I went up to tell him, this may be too much for David? No, it's not. I'll be right there with you. And to this day, I still watch the video of Josh standing by David Coomer giving a Sunday Scouts Own service. Impact can be measured over many different metrics. Many of our things in our adult lives are very transient. Many times we feel like we've accomplished some glorified position or title in our job, just to find out 2 weeks after you leave that position, your impact is forgotten. Impact in scouting is not transient. Far from it. Any person that takes on such a mission to put this much energy, excitement, and demands into our young men and sons, the Scouts of Troop 343, has left a mark much deeper and lasting. The kind of impact a great teacher leaves. Scoutmaster Kennedy, 100 Eagles plus. This has been Josh's mission since becoming a trained leader in scouting. I don't know if everybody knows here what wood badge is, but most of us go to our local council and do wood badge. In the early days, I don't know, how long had you been in scouting?
3 years.
3 years. He takes off and does basically summer camp in Colorado, leaves his job for a week of vacation just to play Boy Scouts and to earn his wood badge. I think the entire week was in Colorado, followed by you get your ticket punched. You have to do service projects. And as I remember it, Josh, the whole aim of this was to develop a mechanism and rhythm to allow as many boys as possible to earn their Eagle. These boys in front of you are living proof that it worked. Josh always made it clear, we are in it to win it. I'd like Josh's 100th Eagle, Caleb Garrett, to come up here on stage with me. I was going to make him read this, but I think I'll read it. I think Miss Leo took mercy on you there tonight. This is really done by the work of Carter Wells and Faye. But we've got a proclamation here, a resolution from the city of Huntsville, and I'm going to read it all. Whereas the City Council and Mayor of the City of Huntsville, Alabama wish to formally honor and recognize Mr. Josh Kennedy, who has served as Scoutmaster for Boy Scout Troop 343 for over 12 years, and whereas in January of 2023, Mr. Kennedy reached the extraordinary milestone of guiding his 100th young man to the rank of Eagle, Scouting's highest achievement. The national average for a Scout to reach Eagle is 5%, but due to Mr. Kennedy's dedicated hard work, the average for Troop 343 is above 80%. And Whereas Mr. Kennedy, a colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, continues to serve our nation with honor and distinction. He currently is an executive with the Army Futures Command and teaches at the United States Military Academy at West Point. His service to Troop 343 has taken place while serving our nation in both of these roles. And whereas the Eagle Scout projects conducted by Mr. Kennedy's 100 Eagle Scouts provided more than 20,000 hours in service to our community, and whereas Mr. Kennedy embodies the Scout Law and the Scout Oath, he brings excellence to every task and enthusiastic support to every Scout. And whereas Mr. Kennedy has instilled the Scout Law and Scout Oath in these leaders of tomorrow, his efforts with these young men will undoubtedly be beneficial for our community, our state, and our nation for many years to come. And whereas Huntsville is very appreciative of the compassionate drive and dedication Mr. Kennedy continuously displays that motivates young men to strive for success and maximize their potential in any journey they wish to pursue. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Council and the Mayor of the City of Huntsville, Alabama, do hereby recognize and offer the city's appreciation to Josh Kennedy, Scoutmaster of Boy Scout Troop 343, for his years of service to scouting, this community, and our nation. Wish he and his family everlasting peace and contentment in all their future endeavors. Signed by Tommy Battle and the full council on the 27th day of February 2023. Josh, please come forward.